Hello everyone, I'm Henry, and today I will be going over a beginner-friendly Mirage F1C simulator guide. This will work for both the tech tree and the premium variants. There are some tricks which you can use to make your life easier in a game, and we'll be going over that. The topics we will be covering today are controls, ordnance, bombing, and air-to-air. So first, let's take a look at the controls. To change your controls, you will want to go to the top here, select controls, and select full real controls. Here you can find keybinds that you will not find in mouse aim, and it is what you will be using in simulator mode. If you are controlling your aircraft with mouse and keyboard, you will want to go to mouse joystick, and here you will have two options. Standard, which is what I am currently using, which makes the virtual joystick realistic, meaning your vertical controls are reversed, meaning down is up is down. The other option is simplified. We'll have you use the virtual instructor, and your controls will not be inverted. So if you move your mouse up, your aircraft will go up. If you move your mouse down, your plane will go down. Now, I would personally recommend using standard and getting used to it. However, it is down to personal preference. The first thing we'll be looking at in controls is toggle SAS mode. You can search SAS, however, once you first open realistic controls, full real controls I mean, it will be right here, controls mode, toggle SAS. Now, for this, you have three different options. You have manual, dampening, and auto leveling. We will be taking a look at all of these controls in the test flight. Another control we'll be looking at is switch secondary weapon. This is what you'll use to switch your selection between your bombs and your different missiles. Another control you want is switch sight mode in cockpit. We will also be showing what this does in a test flight. So now, let's take a look at the ordnance that you have with the Mirage F1C. So for your air-to-air loadout, this is what you have. The Magic 2, which is a really good all-aspect missile. I would personally recommend trying to use it on rear aspect whenever possible, as this missile is extremely hard to flare due to the IRCCM which it has. Your radar missile, your main radar missile, will be the Matra 530F, which is a Fox 1 missile, meaning you have to keep it locked even after firing it. In your middle pylon, or your bottom pylon, you have the option to bring a 530E, which is an IR version of the 530, or you can bring the 530, which is another radar version, which is significantly inferior to the 530F. I personally bring the 530E due to it being a heat seeker. It does not give warnings, meaning most often than not, even though this missile is essentially useless in realistic battles, due to the lack of missile diamonds, people will often die to this. For bombing, you have many bombs, however, the ones you will most likely be using are the 1000 pounders or the 2000 pounders. Now, to destroy a base, you will need two 2000 pound bombs and one 1000 pound bombs, like I have over here. However, as you can see, the 2000 pound bombs will occupy the same space as your radar missiles, meaning you have to choose between radar missiles or bombs. Keep in mind, you can also put a 2000 pound bomb in the bottom, even though I do not have it selected here. Personally, this is the loadout I use when I want to do multi-role, meaning bombing and, of course, air-to-air fighting, which you will inevitably have to do to defend yourself. So now, let's go take a look at how to bomb in the flight range, and after that, we will take a look at your air-to-air ordnance and how to engage enemies with that. So we are now here on the flight range, and as you can do in simulator battles, you'll be able to open your map. This is quite important for bombing bases, as you can see your location, the base's location. To bomb, of course, you want to be over the base. Now, if you want to bomb just the way most people do it, all you have to do is find the base on the map, locate it, and when you select your bombs using the keybind we showed before, you will notice this little green dot appear on your screen. This is where your bombs will drop, so just put it over the base, drop your bombs, and pull up. We drop two 2,000 pound bombs and one 1,000 pound bombs, and you will see this is just enough to destroy the base. Now, as you can see, my controls are a little bit erratic, so press H for dampening mode, and look at that, significantly smoother. Now, there's another way you can bomb, which we'll be taking a look right now. So, when you spawn in, you'll be on the runway, you'll open your map, go over whichever base you want to bomb. Let's say we want to bomb this one, and you will place this little marker over the base. Now you might think, well, that doesn't change much. However, once you turn in the direction of where the base is and you select your bombs, you'll notice little crosshair is gone. Well, it's now over the base. So we do not need to visually look for it, as we'll have this little thing to guide you. Now, this looks useless in this map, however, in some maps it is visually difficult to spot the bases. The problem is, if you use this mode, as you can see, the green dot will not appear, meaning you have to bomb manually. And we were too fast to drop the bombs. Anyways, there's another trick you can use to help you with that. But first, let's get out of here before we get shot down by the SPAA. Alright, so now let's apply a different trick. Here you go, you will be able to see the base on your crosshair. Now what you want to do is take this off, and once again use your weapon and your sight selector and use select bombs, and you will see that the green dot appears. And now, if you are slow enough, just drop your bombs when it appears. So for this we are using both modes, and you can see the base is gone. For this we're using both the mission selector over here and the sight switching. You'll want to use both of them to make your life significantly easier and achieve the best results. Alright, so now we're back at the flight range, and let's take a look at missiles, your air-to-air loadout. The first missile we're going to look at are the Magic 2s, which are heat-seeking missiles. Once again, they are really good if you are from your aspect, and they're really hard to flare. Now, once you start your seeker, you will hear this growl, which is the searching growl. However, once you get a lock, the growl will change, and once you get within around 2.4 kilometers of a fast-moving target, you should feel free to fire. This missile works in all aspects, however, they are easily flareable from front, or sometimes even side aspects. You want to make sure you are in the rear, as people will not be able to detect the missile. Since it's not a radar missile, it will not give off any warnings. Now let's take a look at our radar missile. For that we will be using the 530F, which is the best radar missile you get. Find a target, there he is. Point your nose at him, and your radar should detect him, there he is. With my radar mode, I have cyclic target switching, meaning I have to do it manually. After you lock, you'll see the diamond appear, the tracking growl, and you can fire. And there he goes. Keep in mind, this missile is slow, and also, once you start tracking, it is no longer an MTI track, meaning if your target flies close to the deck, it is really easy for your missile to lose track and not be able to hit him. Sometimes you'll even see your missile doing the opposite of what your opponent does. Sometimes he starts turning left if he's close to the ground, and your missile will decide to turn right for some reason. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the 530E. This is the worst missile you'll have in your arsenal. However, it is still useful. Being an IR seeking missile or a heat seeker missile, you are able to lock target to find targets and engage them without them getting warnings. In realistic battles, this missile will rarely hit, due to the diamonds and people being in third person. However, being first person in game mode, you have quite a high chance of finding someone who's not paying attention and engaging them. This missile, once again, is slow and not very maneuverable. It's also only rear aspect. Now, let's get a lock on this guy, which is in front of us. And he's on the radar. Seeker is searching and tracking. Fox 2. And away them still goes. As you can see, very slow, not very maneuverable. However, against a straight moving target, which is not flaring, it will easily track. So this is it for the main armaments. You also have the option of using the radar version of this missile as opposed to the AR on the bottom. However, I would personally not recommend doing that. Now what we will do is take a look at a couple kills I got on a replay. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is a little fight I had with an SU-39. Keeping in mind, because of the replay system, my shots are kind of worse than they actually are, even though they were not as good in real time either. So let's play this and show you how we did it. Now, using our free look keybind, we'll keep the target spotted, making sure we're heading towards him. And once again, our seeker is searching. We have lost radar lock. We lock him up. And the first missile, now, even though on the top it says we are using the Magic 2s, that is not the case, that is just a replay glitch. We're actually using the 530E, which is the infrared seeking version, or the heat seeking version, of our radar missiles. And you will see the SU-39 is easily able to flare it. So there the missile goes. And using sensor view, you can see missile is tracking. And he goes for the flare, and the missile goes for the flare. So, what we will do is select our Magic 2s. And when we are waiting a little bit to make sure we're not locking the flares. When I'm sure I get a lock on the aircraft, we lead and fire a Magic 2. And you can see, even though he's flaring, our missile will completely ignore it and go for the enemy plane. And that is our first kill. Here you can see the difference between the 530E and the 550 Magic 2s. For this kill, you can see we have spotted and radar locked a Su-25T. Of course, in real time, we are not aware it is an Su-25T. We use our radar to lock him up. We lead him, and we fire a Magic 2. So, this is our last Magic 2. He is not aware of it, and our missile hits. There you go. Here's an example of the radar missiles not working when the target is close to the ground. So you can see I have him radar locked, I launched the missile, and the missile never tracked. As you can see, the missile is heading completely the wrong way, and it splashes the ground. Here, once again, we use our radar to spot someone, and we'll now give chase. We fire what I believe to be a radar missile. Let's see. Yes, it is a radar missile. You can see he is high, and therefore the missile is tracking without any issues. And splash. That's our third kill for this game. Behind us is an enemy MiG-23, which we have not spotted, but he's there because of our radar running receiver. As you can see, every time his radar goes towards us, or now that he is locked on us, we will get a warning, which is why we're flying low to the ground, and his R-24R, which is a radar missile, did not track. I don't believe we have spotted him at this time. We have not. And once again, he has fired a missile on us. We flare and chaff, and the missile does not track us. It is not showing me which missile it is. I believe that is an R-24T, which is an IR-seeking missile. As we approach the target, he is low because he was turn fighting with an A-10. And we are able to turn on the seeker, lead the missile, and fire. It is a magic. So we fire a magic, and he doesn't even fire, and he's dead. Here we have once again radar locked an enemy aircraft. We have two friendlies in front of us. We lose the track. It looks like a tornado. We only have one Magic 2 and one 530E, which is the IR version of our radar missile. We spot another enemy on our radar. We lock him. And we fire a Magic 2. He won't be dodging that. The tornado flies away, and I don't believe we find him. So once again, in sensor view, we, I believe visually, spot an enemy MiG-21. You can tell by the outline. We decide not to fire a missile. Track him with our head. The seeker is warmed up, and therefore all we need to do is get it over the MiG-21 and lead the missile, and that's Fox 2. It does not reach, and it was actually targeting our teammate. So this time we radar lock him to make sure we'll be tracking him, and that's the missile, and he is gone. Remember, leading our missiles will allow them to reach further ranges, as they will have to pull less chi and lose less energy. So, if possible, always lead your missiles. We are getting locked by a radar, as we can tell by our radar warning receiver. So what we have done, or we started doing, is pitching down. There it is. There is the enemy that is tracking us, and an R60, which is way too far to reach. We flare. R60 goes for the flare. We had him radar locked. We cannot engage with a radar missile. Try to engage him with our gun, and he is hit. Down he goes. That is our 7th kill. We spot an enemy, both visually and on a radar. We lock someone, being pretty sure they are an enemy, because they're not supposed to be able to lock friendlies. And we notice he's a friendly, so we unlock him. Once again, spotting enemies with a radar. We can see them visually, but you're not able to tell if it's a friendly or not from this far away. So we use the radar. If the enemies are too close together, you might lock friendly, even though you have selected the enemy on your radar. We launch a radar missile because this person is going high and is not paying attention. Therefore, he will most likely not be able to flare or rather chaff the missile. He starts going down, however, and confuses the missile with the ground clutter. We lock him up on radar and Magic 2. He is not aware, he does not get a warning, and down he goes. That is our 8th kill. So here is our last kill. We were being locked from behind by a MiG-23. We look behind us, we see that he's breaking off from us. So we're gonna start heading towards him. Start the seeker any second now. And there you go, trucking. And Fox 2. And down he goes. That is our 9th and final kill in this game. And this will be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. If you'd like me to do a radar guide, let me know, or any other kind of videos, be it simulator or realistic battles. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you are looking forward for more content, subscribe. And that's it. Have a great day.